Big facts, baby. All the thing to you. Huh. Oh yeah. Hallelujah. Huh. Shabbat shalom, Miss Pot. I pray that all is going incredibly well. You already know what it is and what it ain't. It's that Yahuwah smoke and it ain't nothing else. Oh yeah. All the thing to Yahuwah, man. So I pray once again, man, that all is abounding on that we are constantly growing in the King, because that's what it's all about. Once you get stagnant, then that's death. Believe it or not, anything that's not growing is dying. That's scientific studies, and that's just life in general. So I pray that you're continually growing, seeking Yahuwah's face every day, continually asking him to build you up, because that's the secret. To be honest, that's the real secret. We can go about this thing on our own, which we're really not gonna get too far doing that. But if you ask Yahuwah continually every day to build you up according to his standards, oh man, I guarantee it's gonna be a lovely thing. I'll stand to Yahuwah big fast. So me, I'm gonna jump right into it. Barak Yahuwah, Barak Yahusha, Barak all y'all. Yahuwah is serious. Yeah, Yahuwah is very serious, which most of us know. But these are just a few details on how serious Yahuwah is, and what it means to really serve Yahuwah. Sometimes you have to make very tough decisions, but those decisions are always rewarded. But also, again, those decisions are to try you, to see where you truly at in your heart with Yahuwah, and then we go from there. But with that being said, again, as the title says, Yahuwah is serious. So what is Yahuwah serious about? Of course, he's serious about his word. He's serious about obedience to his word. So I felt like the first thing to do was to read the commandments, which a lot of us know about already, and a lot of us know about heart, all listening to Yahuwah. But for some of us who don't, Shemot, or Exodus, chapter 20, verse 1 through 17 is where you can find the quote-unquote 10 commandments, which is not really different from the law, but it's not as detailed as the law. But if you search the law and you understand the commandments, then you understand all 10 commandments hold all of Yahuwah's laws within each 10 commandment, within each commandment. So with that being said, the commandments are not different than the law. It's just that they are not as detailed as the law. But by keeping the commandments diligently in your heart and in your mind, therein you will be keeping certain facets of the law. For example, number 7, it says, do not commit sexual immorality. Some say do not commit adultery, do not have sex out of wedlock. But the original is do not commit sexual immorality. So then sexual immorality covers all of that. Homosexuality, bestiality, rape, pedophilia, all that's in that one commandment. But once again, it's just the wording has been changed. So this is why we must seek Yahuwah diligently. James chapter 1 verse 5. If any of you lack wisdom, let him ask of Yahuwah, who upbraideth not, and he will give it unto you freely. So again, seek the King in all things, and you will not be disappointed. Be it proof fast. So, without further ado, Exodus chapter 20, verses 1 through 17. And Yahuwah spoke all these words, saying, I am Yahuwah your Elohim, who brought you out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. You shall have no other mighty ones before me. You shall not make for yourself a carved image, any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. You shall not bow down to them, nor serve them. For I, Yahuwah, am a jealous Elohim, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children, to the 3rd and 4th generations of those who hate me, but showing mercy to thousands of those. But showing mercy to thousands of generations to those who love me and keep my commandments. So I want to back up a little bit when it says, I, Yahuwah, am a jealous Elohim. Now, in the sense of jealousy of what we know, it's like, it's a negative emotional trait. But when we go to the word that is used here, and this is called kana, and it's literally mean accepting no rivals. So it's not like Yahuwah is jealous. Who does he have to be jealous for? He's the one who makes everything. So he has no reason to envy or feel any type of negative feeling. But what this is saying is that he will not accept any rival. He will completely demolish. Why? Because any rival against Yahuwah is wicked. Yahuwah is all about righteousness, and so he will not withstand any rival. So this is what this is saying. Anyone or anybody or anything that is against me I'm completely jealous of. I'm going to show up on them and show them what I'm really about. And that's what it is. So again, the heathen has tried to make the wording like Yahuwah has a reason to be jealous of anything or anybody. Man, all this thing to Yahuwah, that's not the case. Simply saying he will not accept no rival. He will completely obliterate anything and anyone that is not of his word. And once again, because that makes that person wicked, that makes that person a son of the wicked one. So therefore, to protect his righteous ones, he will certainly do damage to all those who seek not the face of Yahuwah. So again, this is how serious he is. He's withstanding no rivals, period. All this thing to Yahuwah. Let's keep going. We are at verse 7. You shall not take the name of Yahuwah your Yahuwah in vain, for Yahuwah will not hold him guiltless who takes his name in vain. Remember the Shabbat, to keep it Kadash, or keep it holy, keep it set apart. 6 days you shall labor and do all your work, but the 7th day is the Shabbat of Yahuwah your Yahuwah. In it you shall do no work, you, nor your son, nor your daughter, nor your male servant, nor your female servant, nor your cattle, nor your stranger who is within thy gates. No one. All this thing to Yahuwah. Verse 11. For in 6 days Yahuwah made the heavens and the earth, the sea and all that is in them, and rested the 7th day. Therefore Yahuwah baraked, or blessed, the 7th day, the Sabbath day, and hallowed it. Verse 12. Honor your father and your mother, that your days may be long upon the land which Yahuwah your Yahuwah is giving you. You should not commit murder. You should not commit adultery, or again, sexual immorality. You should not steal. You shall not bear false witness against your neighbor, nor shall you covet your neighbor's house. You shall not covet your neighbor's wife, nor his male servant, nor his female servant, nor his ox, nor his donkey, nor anything that is your neighbor's. Hallelujah. Yahuwah, be content with what you have. Don't envy your neighbor for something that Yahuwah has given them. It may be fit for them to have it and not you. You never know. It could be a great thing. So again, these commandments, these very, very beautifully intelligent and exquisite guidelines and instructions is what Yahuwah is serious about. Again, you get a little more detail when you read Leviticus and more of Deuteronomy. You get a little more detailed explanation of exactly what Yahuwah expects from us. But for now, again, Exodus chapter 20, verses 1 through 17. If you want to go read that again, that's where you can find the quote-unquote 10 commandments. So now, on to the next part. John 14:15. If ye love me, keep my commandments. So now these people are saying that they love the Most High, but they don't got to do this. They love the Most High. He knows my heart. But the script say, if you love me, keep my commandments. That's what Yahuwah said. That's not what I said. That's not what nobody said but the King, Yahuwah, Yahusha. If ye love me, keep my commandments. The only way to prove we love Yahuwah is to abide by the word that he is serious about. Simple as that. If your parents give you instructions to do a certain thing, then you want to show them love and respect, you're going to honor what they say. If you care not about showing them love and respect, you're going to do whatever you want to do. And so that's basically what Yahuwah is saying. I'm giving you these guidelines and instructions, and if you love me, follow them. Why? Proverbs 8:17. I love them that love me, and those that seek me early shall find me. So again, if you're not keeping the commandments, you don't love Yahuwah. And in turn, according to Proverbs 8:17, again, I love them that love me. So Yahuwah does not love everybody, contrary to very popular belief. The king himself said he does not love everybody. He loves those who love him. And also, excuse me, to go back up a little bit more, back to Exodus chapter 20, verse 5. Let's read that again. You shall not bow down to them, meaning the idols, nor serve them. For I, Yahuwah, am a jealous Yahuwah, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children, to the 3rd and 4th generations, to those who hate me, meaning he hates them too. Verse 6, but showing mercy to thousands of generations, to those who love me and keep my commandments. So all this thing to Yahuwah. The love of Yahuwah is only going to the ones who show the love of Yahuwah. And how do we show that? By keeping the law, statutes, and commandments. So again, Yahuwah does not love everyone. That's script. But with that being said, when we are obedient to Yahuwah, of course, there's gifts. There's there's always perks. Yahuwah doesn't, even though he's telling us to do what is good for us anyway, which alone is a blessing for the great king to guide us and steer us away from trouble. That alone is a blessing. But he said, I'm gonna put something on top of that when you obey me. I'm gonna put some blessings on top of that. So let's go to Jeremiah or Yahuwah, chapter 29, verses 11 through 13. And many of us know this verse, or these verses, excuse me. For I know the thoughts that I think towards you, saith Yahuwah, thoughts of peace and not of evil, to give you an expected end. Then ye shall call upon me, and ye shall go and pray unto me, and I will hearken unto you. And ye shall seek me and find me, when ye shall search for me with all your heart. All this thing to Yahuwah. So that goes for any of us who think it's okay to just learn from videos. Don't get me wrong, they can be an awesome tool to use. But at the end of the day, that's not seeking Yahuwah with all your heart. The only way to seek Yahuwah with your heart is through his word, because he is his word. So it's good to get understanding. It's good to, catch precepts from bros who have the proper understanding of Yahuwah. But again, a righteous servant of the king is always going to point you to his word every single time. Like even the videos I make, all this thing to the king, yes, they're great for learning, all this thing to Yahuwah, but I'm still going to tell you, put your face in his book. Excuse me, put your face in his word. That's all I can tell you. That's where you're going to truly get the understanding. I could tell you all day what you think you understand, but at the end of the day, your soul needs this word. Our soul is void without this word. That's why you see a lot of multi-millionaires killing themselves, because they thought the money was going to fill the void, or they thought this person coming into their life will fill the void, but not at all. The word of Yahuwah is the only thing that's going to fill the void. So again, put your faith in his word. Eat it up like he told Ezekiel. Eat this scroll, meaning dig into it, digest it, let it marinate and meditate into you. And once watching videos is great, but reading the word is even greater. I promise you. All this thing to Yahuwah. So again, the king says he has thoughts of peace and do good things for us. So when we love him, these are the perks that we get. Bottom line, again, I didn't put this in the notes, but it hit me as I was coming on the video. So once again, when we love Yahuwah, we get perks. Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 1. And it shall come to pass, if ye shall hearken diligently unto the voice of Yahuwah your Elohim, and to guard, and to do all his commandments which I command you this day, that Yahuwah your Elohim will set you on high above all the nations of the earth. And all these blessings shall overtake you and come upon you, if you shall hearken to the voice of Yahuwah. Hallelujah. So he just said that even though I'm telling you something good, I'm telling you what's good for your life already out the gate. I'm telling you what's going to save you from the wicked one. But I'm going to still put something on top of that for you believing me and obeying me. And what's that? Blessings upon blessings. If you want to go to Deuteronomy 28 and read verses 1 through 14, it tells you all types of blessings. Blessed in the field, blessed in your womb, blessed in your house, blessed in your thoughts, blessed in everything you could possibly do just from obeying his commandments. But then again, we have the opposite in verse 15. If you do not obey his commandments, all these curses will come upon the person. So that goes again to tell you it's no in between. It's either you receive and obey Yahuwah's word and you get blessed, Baruch, by doing it, or you do not receive Yahuwah's word and disobey it, and then you get the curses, which we're about to read on how serious Yahuwah is, to where own family members had to go in and touch their own family. Now, don't get me wrong, vengeance is Yahuwah, so we don't do that any longer. Out the gate, all this thing to Yahuwah. So by in no means am I saying go do any harm to anyone. So let's get that clear. But I am going to read this passage in Exodus 32 that makes it very clear that Yahuwah does not care who you're related to if they're not on his side. Bottom line. And there's other verses on here that Yahuwah could not care less who you're related to. If you're going to choose them over Yahuwah, it's not going to be a very good outcome. So again, Deuteronomy 28:1. And it shall come to pass, 1 through 2, Deuteronomy 28 verses 1 through 2. And it shall come to pass, if you shall hearken diligently unto the voice of Yahuwah your Elohim, to guard and to do all his commandments, which I command you this day, that Yahuwah your Elohim will set you on high above all the nations of the earth. And all these blessings shall come upon you and overtake you, if you shall hearken unto the voice of Yahuwah. So it's our choice. Yahuwah is not going to make us do anything. It's our choice if we want to. If you shall hearken unto the voice, that means you got a decision not to. So make a wise decision. I would say all this thing to Yahuwah. Exodus chapter 32, verse 25 through 29. I remember when I first read this, I was like, wow, Yahuwah, this is a few years ago, maybe like 4 years ago. I read this for the first time, and I was like, whoa, the Mighty One ain't playing. The Mighty One ain't playing. He is super serious. I should say Yahuwah is super serious, but now I'm going to keep it as Yahuwah is serious. But Yahuwah is very serious when it comes to picking sides. It ain't no in between. Let's get right to it. Exodus chapter 32, verses 25 through 29. And when Musha, or Moses, saw that the people were naked, for Aaron had made them naked unto their shame among their enemies. This is talking about how they were worshiping this golden calf, this idol, this dead nothing, and they were literally worshiping this idol. And so, verse 26, then Musha stood in the gate of the camp and said, who is on Yahuwah's side? Let him come unto me. And all the sons of Levi gathered themselves together unto Moses. And Moses said unto them, thus saith Yahuwah your Yahuwah, the Yahuwah of Israel, put every man his sword by his side, and go in and out from gate to gate throughout the camp, and slay every man his brother, and every man his companion, and every man his neighbor. So let's start right there. Let's start right there. Exodus 32, chapter 32, verse 26. We're going to go right there again. Then Musha stood in the gate of the camp and said, who is on Yahuwah's side? That's the question. First, before anything took place, anything took place, Yahuwah said, who is on my side? I'm giving you this free will. Let him come over here to my servant Moses. Moses said that, who is on Yahuwah's side? Come over here to me. So before anything took place, everybody had their own free will to make their own decision whose side they were on. Correct? We can see that clearly, right? Right. So again, and all the sons of Levi gathered themselves unto Moses. And he said unto them, thus saith Yahuwah your Yahuwah, put every man his sword by his side, meaning scrap up. Get it right. Put every man his sword by his side. And then do what? Go in and out from gate to gate throughout the camp, and slay every man his brother, and every man his companion, and every man his neighbor. Why? Because they all chose not Yahuwah. They all chose the other side. They all chose the other side. That's what happened. They all chose the side that was not for Yahuwah. So Yahuwah had everybody who chose him. It was a very tough test, because we're going to even read, again, we're going to read the rest of this, where it says that basically Yahuwah was, you consecrated yourself to Yahuwah today. You proved yourself to Yahuwah today that you're really for Yahuwah, because these people were wicked. And once again, they was like, forget Yahuwah, we're going to worship these idols and do what we want to do. And so Yahuwah, it was a very hard decision to some, but at the end of the day, for some of us, we already have it in our spirit that, listen, if you ain't with Yahuwah, you're not with me. So therefore, you against me. So I really cannot be concerned about your feelings. And that's just what it is, bottom line. Some things may be harsh for someone, or that's too this and that. But at the end of the day, when we get a little bit further and see that brother's going to give up brothers, father's going to give up sons, listen, then you understand how serious this thing is. Why put myself in a position to where I'm a victim to yours, when I'm a victim to your wickedness, when I could just stand for Yahuwah and be protected? All this thing to the king. It's really no thought in that. I'm not going to fall to someone else's ignorance when I can just obey my king and be protected by obeying his word and doing what he told me to do. So again, we'll read 27 and then we'll keep going. And he said unto them, thus saith Yahuwah, the Yahuwah of Israel, put every man his sword by his side, and go in and out from gate to gate throughout the camp, and slay every man his brother, and every man his companion, and every man his neighbor. Sheesh. And the children of Levi did according to the word of Musha, and there fell of the people that day about 3,000 men. For Moses had said, consecrate yourselves to Yahuwah today. For Moses had said, consecrate yourselves today to Yahuwah, every man upon his son, and every man upon his brother, that he may bestow you a blessing this day. Bestow upon you a blessing this day. So it says that they had to go in there and slay their own children, their own brothers. Why? Because they chose wickedness. That's just what it is. So I know a lot of people probably like, you get what I'm saying? It's hard to digest that, but at the end of the day, this is where you got to ask Yahuwah to receive his understanding. If you don't believe me or understand fully, take it to the king. That's what I recommend anyway, even if you understand me and even if you believe what I'm saying. still take it to the King Yahuwah so he can solidify it and consecrate it in your heart that this is his Kadash word. Because we have another example coming up in 2 Kings chapter 10, which is even more blatant. But bottom line, they had the choice to choose whether they was on Yahuwah's side or whether they weren't. And when they chose not Yahuwah, Yahuwah took his servants to show, okay, you really with me? You know these people against me? And I'm all for righteousness. I'm not asking you to do nothing wicked. I gave these people a fair chance to come from their wickedness. Show me you for me today. Go take these people out. How many people could do that today? A lot of people couldn't. All this thing to Yahuwah. Not saying we should. Not saying we are going to. But what I'm saying is, if it's in your heart to be like, man, I can't do that, then guess what you just did? You literally just turned yourself into a foe of Yahuwah. Because we have to be willing to accept every word of Yahuwah, even the hard sayings. Just like in John chapter 6, verse 61 through 66, when Yahusha was talking about eat my flesh and drink my blood as the word and the bread, but we were talking about his word, they didn't understand. So many of the disciples left. They said, this is a hard saying. Who can understand this? And from that day, they turned away from Yahusha. That's John chapter 6, starting at verse 61 through 66. So once again, some of these sayings are hard to receive, but again, they are to prove who's who and who's not. Once again, Yahusha said they came with us, but they were not of us, so they left to prove that they were never with us. Big brew fast. So it's stuff like this that's going to make people really start questioning, man, is this really what I'm on? Or no, this can't be the God I serve. Well, hey, this is the same book you read. I didn't add anything to it. You can go read it for yourself. Exodus chapter 32, verse 25 through 29. You can go read it yourself. You don't have to listen to me. All esteem to you. Big love to everyone. But at the end of the day, this is the same Bible you read from. But this is where they have twisted the understanding of Yahuwah, and they make people think Yahuwah is something to play with. Exodus chapter 15 verse 3 says Yahuwah is a man of war. Yahuwah is his name. You can go get that. Exodus chapter 15 verse 3. Yahuwah is a man of war. Yahuwah is his name. What is he warring against? Wickedness. He's not out here warring against people who doing the right thing according to his word, not right thing according to what they think, the right thing according to the commandments we just went over and other stipulations. That's who he's rewarding and protecting. That's who he's warring for. He's not warring against them. He's warring against the people who are against us, who are keeping the law, statutes, and commandments. Just like in Revelation, it said the dragon went to make war with all those who keep the commandments of Yahuwah. So that's who Yahuwah is warring against. Again, he's a man of war. He's not a man of, oh, it's okay. It's okay. That's your people. It's all right. Not the king we serve. All this thing to Yahuwah. He's Yahuwah Sabaoth, which means Yahuwah, the host of heaven's armies. Yahuwah, the host, the captain of heaven's armies. He's the captain, the general, the boss of the army in heaven. So that should tell you a lot about the king. He ain't with the pansy-wansy Blues Clues Nickelodeon type jump. That's not the king we serve, and it's a good thing, because then we would all be in trouble if we served the king that was wishy-washy like that. He wouldn't stand up for himself, let alone stand up for us. So it's super cool we got a king that's willing to say, hey, show me you with me, and these people against me, you know they are. You know they are, so what you gonna do? You gonna choose to be against me too? Or you gonna show me that you with me? All this thing to Yahuwah. So again, this may be a harsh saying, but these children of Levi had to go throughout the camp and slay every man, his brother, his companion, and his neighbor. And then verse 29 said his son and his brother, so that Yahuwah may bestow upon you a blessing this day. It is what it is, man. I accept it fully, and Barak Yahuwah. Hallelujah Yahuwah. 2 Kings chapter 10 verses 18 through 28. This is another instant where Yahuwah is awesome and amazing. So long story short, if you go read it, there was this Ahab. A lot of us know about Ahab. Ahab worshipped the deity Baal, the deity who they have translated his name to, anyway, it's another story. But all this thing to Yahuwah, he's worshipped this deity. So Yahuwah said, okay, I'm going to trick his people. I'm going to use their own thing against them. So this is what happened. And Yahu, or Jehu is what it says right here, but the Hebrew is Yahu, gathered all the people together and said unto them, Ahab served Baal a little, but Yahu shall serve him much. So long story short, he was just trying to say, okay, you think he did something with y'all God? I'm going to show you how you're supposed to serve y'all God. So he was basically saying, y'all come to me and I got y'all. So let's go with this saying. Now therefore call unto me all the prophets of Baal and all his servants and all his priests. Let none be wanting. For I have a great sacrifice to do to Baal. Whosoever shall be wanting, he shall not live. But Yahuwah did it in subtlety, to the intent that he might destroy the worshippers of Baal. Hallelujah. So he was basically saying, okay, y'all want to worship this deity? I got y'all. I'm going to get all y'all in one place, and I'm going to touch y'all. But that was because the Ruach of Yahuwah was on him. Bottom line. So we have to understand again, that's not a lie. It wasn't a lie. He was about to make a big sacrifice to the deity. This big facts. He was about to make a huge sacrifice to these deities by what he's about to do. So it's not deceit at all. But he was just being funny with it. Bottom line, because they were sacrificing children to this deity. They were sacrificing animals to this deity. So he said, okay, this is who y'all serve. All right, I got y'all. I'm going to give y'all to him fully. Big brew fast. All this thing to Yahuwah. So verse 20. And Yahuwah said, proclaim a solemn assembly for Baal, and they proclaimed it. And Yahuwah sent through all Israel, and all the worshippers of Baal came out, so that there was not a man left that did not come out. And they came into the house of Baal, and the house of Baal was full from one end and to another end. But watch this though. And he said unto him that was over the vestry, bring forth vestments for all the worshippers of Baal. And he brought forth the vestments. And Yahuwah went and Jonadab, the son of Rechab, into the house of Baal, and said unto the worshippers of Baal, search and look that there be here with you none of the servants of Yahuwah, but the worshippers of Baal only. So he went in there and said, wait, now let's check. Let's make sure ain't no children of Yahuwah in here. Because what I'm about to do, boy, I'll stay to Yahuwah. So he said, search and check, make sure ain't no children of Yahuwah in here. None of the people who worship Yahuwah. Again, verse 23, and Yahuwah went and Jonadab, the son of Rechab, into the house of Baal. So it was two people that went in there, Yahuwah and Jonadab, the son of Rechab, into the house of Baal, and said unto the worshippers of Baal, search and look that there be here with you none of the servants of Yahuwah, but the worshippers of Baal only. So they made sure there was no children of Yahuwah in there. The ones who are with Yahuwah, he made sure none of them was in there. Let's keep going. Verse 24, and when they went in to offer sacrifices and burnt offerings, Yahuwah appointed 80 men without, meaning 80 men, outside, and said, if any of the men whom I have brought into your hands escape, he that letteth him go, his life shall be for the life of him. Why? Because there were some of their family members in this temple worshiping Baal. So Yahuwah made it clear, listen, I don't care who you see coming out this temple when they come. If you let them escape, I'm touching you. It's how serious Yahuwah is. You're going to choose your family over me. Which one? It is what it is. Bottom line, I got some New Testament, quote unquote, New Testament passages I'm about to give y'all. Oh, that's the Old Testament. Yeah, you're right, but it's the New Testament too. Words straight from HaMashiach. We're going to touch those. All the things to the mighty one. Big brew fast. So again, verse 24. And when they went in to offer sacrifices and burnt offerings to Baal, Yahuwah appointed 80 men outside, and said, if any of the men whom I have brought into your hands escape, he that letteth him go, his life shall be for the life of him. All this thing to Yahuwah. And it came to pass, as soon as he had made an end of offering, the burnt offering, that Yahuwah said to the guard and to the captains, go in and slay them. Let none come forth. And they smote them with the edge of the sword, and the guard and the captains cast them out and went to the city of the house of Baal. And they brought forth the images out of the house of Baal and burned them. And they break down the image of Baal and break down the house of Baal and made it a drought house unto this day. Thus Yahuwah destroyed Baal out of Israel. So again, he told them, go in there and slay. Don't let nobody out this house. I don't care who you see in here. Your mama, your daddy, your sister, your brother, your cousin, your uncle, your child. If you let them go, you're going to lose your life. That sound like somebody who playing? That don't sound like somebody who playing to me. And that does not sound like somebody that don't sound like somebody we should play with. Bottom line, person could call it harsh, which I completely agree. It is a very stern punishment, but I don't think it's harsh. I just think it's stern to let us know, don't play. And he's not playing. That's just how I feel. If you slap somebody on the wrist, they're going to keep doing the same thing. But if you make it clear, like he said, thus Yahuwah destroyed Baal out of Israel, these people knew, hey, wait, this ain't who we should be worshiping. We got to obey the king. Bottom line, because Yahuwah made it super clear, he ain't the one to play with. So again, it's stuff like this that make people turn away from the word. I'm sure, probably a couple people don't stop watching this video by now. But at the end of the day, I'll stay to Yahuwah. I'm just dealing with the screw. And so this is going to prove who's who and who's not. I'll stay to Yahuwah. Again, anybody who they was to let out, their life was going to go for theirs. Bottom line. So it don't matter who it was. Basically, so you turn against Yahuwah for your people, Yahuwah going to turn against you for his righteousness. That's just what it is. All this thing to the king. Again, that passage is 2 Kings chapter 10, verses 18 through 28. And you can read the whole context if you want. Start at chapter 10, no sweat. All this thing to the king. So, HaMashiach. Hallelujah. Yahuwah. How does HaMashiach feel about this? Because Mashiach, they say he came to do different things than Yahuwah. The God of the Old Testament is mad and evil, and he this and that and this and that. Okay, well, let's see what Yahusha says, which I completely disagree with. But let's see what Yahusha said. Matthew, chapter 10, verses 34 through 37. Think not that I am come to send peace on earth. I came not to send peace, but a sword. For I am come to set a man at variance against his father, and the daughter against her mother, and the daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. And a man's foe shall be they of his own household. Let's stop right there. Wait, what's going on? The Mashiach just said he ain't come to bring peace on earth, but he came to bring a sword. Why? Because, again, choose what side you on. If you're going to choose the side of wickedness, super cool. That's your decision. You're going to choose the side of righteousness, I got you. Big brute facts. So again, don't think that he came to send peace. He came to bring a sword. For he has come to set a man against his own father. Why? Because, once again, Abraham, his father was wicked, worshiping idols. What are you going to do? You're going to stay friends with this guy? You're going to stay kicking it with this dude? Why? You worship the devil. Well, of course I'm at variance with you. I'm not with you. I'm completely against you. You worship the devil. I'm against you. Bottom line. Big brute facts. So once again, for I have come to set a man at variance, against his father, and the daughter against her mother, and the daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. And a man's foe shall be they of his own household. Why? Because we want the scripts, and then they don't. If you live with your, parents or things like that, live with other family members, and they don't want the scripts, and you own the scripts, they're your enemy in your own household. That's just what it is. Verse 37. He that loveth father or mother more than me is not worthy of me. And he that loveth son or daughter more than me is not worthy of me. This is script saying the same thing we just read in the OT. That, listen, if you're going to choose your people over me, you ain't worthy of me. So you're going to get the sword too. Bottom line. See, they give you all this love and peace, which is exactly what we're supposed to exert towards each other. But how can I have love and peace towards someone who literally hates my father? How can I be against my father for these people who are against my father? I'm going to be peaceful. I'm going to live according to the commandments towards all men, like Yahuwah said. But how can I be cooling with you when you hate my father? What kind of servant does that make me? I know you my father enemy, but I'm kicking it with you. That don't make any sense at all. What fellowship does light have with darkness? What fellowship does righteous have with wickedness? This is script. This is all I can say. So again, even Yahusha said, if you love your father or mother more than me, you're not worthy of me. If you love your son or your daughter more than me, you're not worthy of me. Yahushua HaMashiach said that. Matthew chapter 12, verse 47 through 50. Then one said unto Yahusha, let's see if he kept his own word. Let's see if Yahusha felt like that. What he told us to feel like. Let's see if he felt like that. Matthew chapter 12, verse 47 through 50. Then one said unto Yahusha, behold, thy mother and thy brethren stand without, desiring to speak with thee. But Yahusha answered and said unto him that told him, who is my mother, and who is my brethren? And he stretched forth his hand towards his disciples and said, behold, my mother and my brethren. For whosoever do the will of my Father in heaven, the same is my mother and brethren. Meaning it don't matter what bloodline you in. Don't matter if we got the same blood. Don't matter if I came out your womb. If you ain't doing the will of Yahuwah, you ain't my mother, you ain't my brethren. That's script. You can't take it out of context. It's word for word. Bottom line. For whosoever shall do the will of my Father in heaven, the same is my mother and brethren. That's script. So if you're not doing the will of my Father in heaven, according to the scripts, we not related. That's just big brute fact. So again, this is the Mashiach. It's not just the OT. Let's keep going. What else does the Mashiach say? Matthew chapter 10, verse 16. Behold, I send you forth as sheep in the midst of wolves. Be ye therefore wise as serpents and harmless as doves. Just like I said, know how to move. You ain't got to get into this volatile situation with these people, but move around them. Bottom line, that's just what it is. You got to be wise. You have to be wise as a serpent, like it said. Serpent is a very wise creature. Study it a little bit. Bit brew fast, but harmless as a dove. Meaning, if you don't have to go out there and do some things, don't do these things. Like it says in Paul, YAHUAH's writing, live as much as is in your power. Live at peace with all men. That script, all this thing to Yahuwah. So again, I send you forth as sheep in the midst of wolves. Be ye therefore wise as serpents and harmless of doves. Verse 17. But beware of men, for they will deliver you up to the councils, and they will scourge you in their synagogues. Why? For the righteousness of Yahuwah. So beware of men, meaning watch who you're around. Watch who you're rocking with. If you know these people against what you stand for, why would you rock with them? Why? I'm not. All this thing to Yahuwah, and I really couldn't care less who feels any type of way about that. Barak Yahuwah, Barak Yahusha, all this thing to the king. Let's keep going. Matthew chapter 10, or Matthew chapter 10, verse 21. Watch this. And the brother should deliver up the brother to death, and the father the child. And the children shall rise up against their parents and cause them to be put to death. This is why he says, separate yourself from them. Don't let them know you're going about. Because why? You're going, oh, this is my family, this is my brother, and they're going to send your butt right on up to the people. They ain't going to think nothing about it. This is script. Again, and the brother shall deliver the brother up to death. So that's your brother? That's your brother? You're going to choose your quote-unquote emotions for him over Yahuwah when this man is willing to literally give you up to death? Come on, bro. Like, be for real. This is how serious Yahuwah is again, but he's giving us stern warnings. These people ain't for you. Get away from them. Bottom line. And if you have to be in the household, just move peaceably until Yahuwah make a way to get you up out of there. Pray. That changes things for real, sincere prayer. The effectual fervent prayer of a righteous man availeth much. All this thing to Yahuwah. Bit brew fast. So again, and the brother shall deliver the brother up to death. Matthew chapter 10, verse 21. And the father the child, and the children shall rise up against their parents and cause them to be put to death. Verse 22. And ye should be hated of all men for my name's sake, but he that endureth to the end shall be saved. So he's giving us warnings that these people gonna hate y'all. These people who so-called your family, if they against the word of Yahuwah, they literally hate you on the inward parts. Believe it or not. They smile in your face, kiki with you, but these people don't like you. It's a spiritual thing. Remember that. We wrestle not against flesh and blood. That's not what we're wrestling against. So their flesh could be smiling, but their spirit like, dang, I just wish this person would die, quote unquote. I even had somebody tell me that their own cousin told them, I wish you would die. Because she was telling them about homosexuality and it's not good to live that life. She said her cousin told her, I hope you die. Man, this is her cousin though, right? This is who we supposed to be loving, right? Get out of here, man. All this thing to Yahuwah. But again, I like to end it on great notes. Big brew facts. All this thing to Yahuwah. All this thing to Yahuwah. Barak Yahusha. So, once we understand that we are to separate ourselves and literally have to remove those people out of our lives in most cases, what did Yahuwah say? Yahusha say? Matthew 19:29. And everyone that has forsaken houses, or brethren, or sisters, or fathers, or mother, or wife, or children, or lands, for my name's sake, shall receive an hundredfold, and shall inherit everlasting life. Hallelujah. So although we have to make a very tough decision in some cases, but once you see how these people treat you and talk behind your back, the decision becomes a lot easier. I'm just telling you from experience. Once I see how these people move towards me and talk behind my back, listen, bless them, but I couldn't care less. I'm shifting. I'm out of there. Whatever Yahuwah do, may he have mercy. Don't get me twisted. I still ain't gonna wish bad on nobody. That's not what I'm here for. But at the end of the day, it makes it a lot easier to be like, them people ain't for me. What do I care about them for? What do I care? What do I care about how they feel about me not talking to them? What do I care about how they feel about me not coming around, me not seeing them? Why do I care? I know you're not really for me. You talking behind my back. So obviously you got negative things in your heart for me because you smile in my face, but you talk behind my back. Why do I care about how you feel about me? I heard it was this old saying, before you ask yourself why somebody doesn't like you, ask yourself, why do you care? That's a big fact. I don't care. I'm serving Yahuwah. As long as my king like me, my king love me, I'll stay to Yahuwah. That's really all I'm focused on. Big brew fast. Because my king said, when my ways please him, even my enemies will be at peace with me. And I will obtain favor from him and man. But see, that's at the end of the day, some of these people just got wickedness all in their heart. And nothing you can do about that. But shift, move around them. So again, Matthew chapter 19, verse 29. And everyone who have forsaken houses, or brethren, or sisters, or father, or mother, or wife, or children, or lands for my name's sake shall receive an hundredfold and shall inherit everlasting life. Hallelujah. So again, just for doing something that's good for you, staying away from these people who aren't for you, he's still going to reward that. This is how great and mighty the king is. But also this is how serious he is. I don't care who you related to. If you bought my word and you know they're not, why you rocking with them? Bottom line. All this thing to Yahuwah. I pray this message goes forth and is received by those who are supposed to be received by. All this thing to the mighty King, Barak Yahuwah, Barak Yahusha. But again, Yahuwah is super serious about his word and about us proving ourselves to him by literally having to forsake people for his name's sake. You don't got to go around being evil or mad or angry towards them. No, that's not being harmless as a dove. I just move around. I speak when I see people. I might even give them a hug or a peck on the cheek. But that's it. I'm out of it, so you can't call me wicked. You can call me what you want. Really, I don't care. But at the end of the day, I'm going to show forth that love, that dang, you know, hey, man, I'm moving the way I'm going to move. You move the way you move. May Yahuwah have mercy on us all. That's all I can say. But at the end of the day, the king's serious. The king said you got to shift from your own people for him. Again, go back and read these scrolls. Exodus chapter 32, verse 25 through 29. 2 Kings chapter 10, verse 18 through 28. Catch up with Yahusha. Matthew chapter 10, verse 34 through 37. Catch up with Yahusha. You know what I'm saying? Catch up and see what Yahuwah said, what Yahusha said, see how they line up. And at the end of the day, we're going to understand that Yahuwah is very serious, man. He had people going through the camp and slaying their own people. That's how serious the king is. And again, he said, those who forsake mother, father, brother, excuse me, daughter, lands, anything for my sake, I got them 100-fold in everlasting life. So, it sounds like the king's very serious, but again, he's willing to reward our loyalty. All this thing to Yahuwah, he surely is. So, on that note, won't hold y'all any longer. May Yahuwah Barak y'all all. May your hearts be touched by this lesson and understand that sometimes we got to make hard decisions, but sometimes they be the best decision for us. All this thing to Yahuwah, especially when it comes to people who's against the word of Yahuwah. It's best to stay away. All this thing to Yahuwah. Barak y'all, Barak all y'all in Yahusha HaMashiach name. And may the rest of your Shabbat be filled with peace, love, and harmony, and righteousness of the King. Hallelujah. Shalom.